Hi, what's up everyone? So today we're going to work on converting improper fractions to mixed numbers. Oh my, these are difficult and it looks like hard work, but you need to have that skill. You need to be able to do this. And there are ways to do it to make it a little bit easier. So as we go through these questions, I'm going to make sure that we always take the simplest route to the answer. And so I recommend that you try these with me. So if you have trouble with improper fractions, mixed numbers, and all of that, then make sure you do this video and this worksheet with me. It won't take you too long, I promise. And then once you're done, then you'll feel a lot more confident. Let's go ahead and do the video. All right. So if you can see all the questions, I'm going to put myself here so that you can actually see all the questions in the video. I recommend that you pause the video right now, go ahead and do all the questions, and then come back to me so that we can do them together. All right, so thank you for doing that. I'm going to put myself in the corner for now and start with the first question. So in each one of those questions, it's not necessarily true that you need to immediately change it into a mixed number. Maybe you need to simplify the fraction first. Like in question 1, I see 26 over 10, and so I do need to change this first to 13 over 5. And when I change it to 13 over 5, well, here's the interesting thing about this technique. I need to know how many 5s I can fit into 13. Well, 2 5s, so 10 divided by 5 is 2, is going to give me 10 over 5. So I'm going to say 2 here. And then I'm left with 3 over 5. So realize that 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5, right? Or 10. So that's what you need to do for this question, is you need to change the 2, or rather you need to change the 10 over 5 into a 2. Okay, here, so 34 over 6. Again, I see even and even, and so I should change this to 17 over 3 first. And I realize that that's 15 over 3 plus 2 over 3. So 15 over 3 is 3. So 3, and then I have 2 over 3 left over. Okay, so let's do the next one. 29 over 6. So 29 over 6. I realize that 29 and 6 have no common factors, so I'm immediately this time going to go ahead and simplify it. 29 divided by 6, I can say 6 times 4 is 24. So I have 4, which is 24 divided by 6. But then I'm left with 5, so 5 over 6. So it's 4 and 5 sixth. 11 over 2. Well, I know that 10 over 2 is 5. So each time I just try and find the biggest multiple I can. So 5, and then I'm left with 1 over 2. So it's 10 over 2 plus 1 over 2. The 10 over 2 becomes a 5. 38 over 10. This is even over even. So this is 19 over 5. And then I change the 19 into a 15 over 5, which is a 3. And if I have a 3 here, then I'm left with 4 over 5. And if you do this right, you should always have like an actual fraction that's less than 1. So if I was left with 6 over 5, I would know that I made a boo-boo and I did it wrong. 27 over 8. Okay, so 8 times 3 is 24. So this is going to be 3 for my 24. And then I'm left with 3 over 8. So by now you should be getting used to these. 4 times 7 is 28. So this is 7 and 1/4. So 28. 22 over 8 is 11 over 4, and this is going to be equal to 2, and then I'm left with 3 over 4. So far so good. 16 over 3, well 15 over 3 is 5, so I've got a 5 here, and then I'm left with 1 over 3. 23 over 8, so 8 times 2 is 16, so that's the biggest I can get, so that's my 16 here, and I'm left with 7 over 8. And I'm going to move my little bubble across so you can see the last few questions. 15 over 2, that's 7.5. I can change that to 14 over 2, which is 7, and then I have a half here. I mean, I know that it's 7.5, so I could also use that to double check in my mind and say, okay, well, I need it to be 7.5, so is 7.5 good? Oh, yes, it's 7.5. That's the same number, right? 27 divided by 5, 25 over 5 is 5, and then I'm left with 2/5. Okay, 16 over 7, well 14 over 7 is 2, and I'm left with 2 over 7, so that's good. And then 23 over 5, well 20 over 5 is 4, and then I'm left with 3 over 5. And then for my last one, divided by 9, okay, well 45 over 9 is 5, and I'm left with 6 over 9. Now 6 over 9 is a tricky one. Probably I should have done something different here. I should have divided the top and the bottom by 3 first and realized that 51 is actually 17 times 3. So this is actually 17 over 3. And if I realize that, I can do 5 and I'm left with 2/3, right? I could have changed it to 5 and 6 over 9 and then changed the 6 over 9 into 2/3. But this was probably the best way to go. But it's hard to see that 51 is divisible by 3 without doing a divisibility rule. So if you wanted to know that 51 is divisible by 3, you do 5 plus 1 is 6. And you're like, oh, 6 is in the 3's times table. So 51 is divisible by 3. Okay. See, this wasn't so bad. It didn't even take like 6 minutes. And when I first looked at this worksheet, I was like, oh my God, this is going to take so long. We're going to suffer. The kids are going to scream. No, it wasn't so bad at all. So just make sure that you get more comfortable and confident with these kinds of questions. I really recommend that you look at dividing the number first instead of going straight into doing the mixed number. And just generally speaking, you need to be good at times tables, you need to be good at dividing, you need to be good at multiplying and recognizing common factors. So I'll put some exercises out there for you as well to work on your divisibility rules. For example, knowing that a number is divisible by 3, like in the very last question. But go ahead and just look at some other videos, watch some other videos, make sure that you practice your mathematics. I'll make sure we put out a lot of content for you to practice and get better at maths in general. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, support the channel so that we can keep putting videos out for you. And thank you so much. Good luck at school. I hope it's going well for you. Bye-bye.